What's going on, guys? So in front of me, you are looking at a very special pickup truck. So this is the all-new 2022 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate. This is an absolutely beautiful truck. And if you've watched my channel last year, you probably saw that the folks over at General Motors flew me up to the GM Proving Grounds to actually drive this truck around the big test track that they have up there using their new Super Cruise feature, which is their hands-free driving feature. Very, very cool. This specific truck was also featured on my channel last year when they brought me back up again to Detroit so I could actually film this thing during the reveal of it in Detroit. So this is not a new truck on my channel. However, to actually have one of these trucks is very new, and I believe I'm actually the first journalist to receive one of these. So this thing is absolutely beautiful. I mean, you know, when you see these inside buildings, when you see these at events, it's one thing, but to be able to actually get behind the wheel and drive one of these is a whole nother thing. And I'm really appreciative over the fact that I have the opportunity to spend some time in this truck for a week to give you all my overall impressions of what this thing is all about. And I can tell you right off the bat, there is a lot to like, but more importantly, there's a lot to go over because this truck is completely packed with features, technology, and amenities that, you know, probably most of you aren't too unfamiliar with, but they've done some really interesting ways of implementing it here on the Denali pickup truck. First of all, I know most of you know that I'm already a fan of the Denali line. I think it's probably one of the most bold looking vehicles you can get on the road, especially considering its overall size. But one thing I really like is this migration to this really new cutty, edgy grille that they have up front. I think it looks absolutely beautiful, especially with this dark tinted chrome or dark tinted grille up front that just absolutely looks beautiful. Super shiny, very, very cool. The headlights, I think, are an absolutely beautiful, beautiful change from the previous generation, which was a really good looking truck. So it was kind of a hard thing to determine how well they'd be able to execute on a body style change, considering the fact that the previous generation truck was a really, really good looking truck. But I think they did just an amazing job. You know, you look at this, it certainly looks like a progression from the previous generation, but it doesn't necessarily look like it's too much of a change. It looks just absolutely tasteful. I think they did a great job. And the overall look of the truck from the side profile really gives you that same type of curb appeal. This is just a truck that you can absolutely respect going down the road. It's just gorgeous in every sense. It demands attention. And, you know, the ultimate tagging, Denali on the side, really stands out as a premium luxury pickup truck. And one thing that really, really looks nice are these 22-inch, they're kind of a matted black or a low-gloss black aluminum wheel. Just looks absolutely gorgeous. They're a bit busy, but in a good way. So, you know, you could look at these and you could say, man, that's kind of a busy looking wheel design. But if you look at how it matches the rest of the truck, they're really the perfect looking wheel for this type of truck. And I have to say, I think the folks over at GMC nailed it in terms of the overall appeal. With Bridgestone tires, and the tire size on this truck are 275/50 R22s. A very good looking tire, nice wide, nice kind of a tall profile considering it's on the 22-inch wheel, but at the same time it just looks really good. It doesn't look like the tires are too small or too large for this specific truck. Coming down the side here, it's probably not surprising to know that these side steps actually come out when you open the door, but something that's very unique, and the gentleman delivering it actually showed it to me, is this cool little nugget, where after you unlock the truck, you can press this little button at the end of the running board right there, and it extends the running board past its normal position so you can easily access the bed of your truck from the side. So you can see how typically the running board would come out to this area and stop right about here, but it goes well past that. So now you have the ability to step up over the side of your bed if you need to grab something. And this probably would come in a lot more handy than most people would think, especially if you've loaded something to the back and it's shifted up here to the front, or if you just have something here at the front. You know, while I'm here, it's kind of cool to see the drain holes that they put here, because this has that carbon fiber bed on it. Multi-Pro tailgate, which is that multi-function tailgate. Certainly not a new feature, but it's still one that a lot of people like. And then that's your handle right there. Once the tailgate is in its step position, you flip the handle up and it gives you easier access into the bed. But again, carbon fiber bed. I had an opportunity to test one of these out with a sledgehammer and all sorts of other crazy tools, golf clubs and everything else. They gave us an opportunity to try to break one of these, and nobody could do it. That is very cool. Okay, coming around back, you can see that it has traditional leaf sprung suspension. It also has a fully boxed frame. They do have their very, very common wax coating on their frame. I do wish they would have switched to an e-coating by now, but they are holding fast to that NOx coating technology to surround their frame, which, you know, I'm not going to say it's bad because, you know, you don't see a lot of rusted out General Motors frames, at least on newer trucks. But I will say it's super messy if you have to touch the stuff. You have your 3-leaf spring pack back here. This does not have air suspension in the back, though if you get something like this in a Yukon, you can actually get air suspension on it. Okay, now that we're out here at the back, you can see it has the traditional paint-matched bumper with the nice corner steps, and the corner steps stick out really far too. So you not only get corner steps to be able to access either your tailgate or the bed of your truck, but you get very functional ones because they stick out well past the end of the bumper. So it gives you a lot of area to be able to put your foot. You can see the chrome exhaust tips integrated into the bumper, as well as a 2-inch receiver hitch. Very nice. Has a lot of crazy technology built into this truck. Right here's the key to unlock your spare tire, or at least the hole for it. And then you have trailer camera features that actually plug in above your 7-way connector, which is right here. Very, very cool. And then on the tailgate, again, this is the Multi-Pro tailgate, which I'll demonstrate here in a second. You have your tailgate release. This is going to be your top tailgate, your lower tailgate. So this will open up this top portion right here, and this will open up the whole thing. So if I click this, you'll see that open. You can also do it from the remote fob, or the key fob. And then you can now drop that down. One feature that this truck wasn't equipped with, and I really think it's the only feature this truck wasn't equipped with, is the kicker sound system that can be optioned in right here, where you have the speakers and you have the Bluetooth and all of that stuff. You know, if you got a truck like this, would you option it with that package? I'd love to know. I would actually guess most people would want that in a truck like this, only because if you're fishing, if you're, you know, out by the dock, if you're with friends and you want some music outside, this is a really good way to get some music outside. But again, this specific truck was not equipped with that feature. And then simply close that. You can lift this. It's kind of a thing where you have to lift the whole tailgate up, which I don't really care for that because it is kind of heavy when everything's said and done. So if you're going to do it, the easiest way would be to, again, lift the whole thing up as one unit. But dropping the regular tailgate, we'll look inside of the bed. Again, this is that Carbon Pro bed material. This is just a plastic cover on top of the tailgate, but everything else here is the Carbon Pro. And then you can flip this handle up right here for a nice grab handle. And you can use it either with this step down or with your nice corner step right here, but it gives you a nice firm handhold area to get into the bed of your truck if you need to. And then you can drop it out of the way when you're not using it. Very cool. On the side here, you're going to have a 120 volt outlet, and it is 400 watts. So very, very convenient to have that in the bed of the truck. I really, really wish I had one of those in the bed of my truck. Just gives you a lot of capability to charge up battery pack, speakers, whatever you might need, a cooler. If you have one of those electric coolers, does a good job. Tons of anchoring points. You got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 anchoring points. And then you still have the slots here, so you can put like 2x6s to divide up the bed if you want to kind of compartmentalize it. When the tailgate is in, the whole unit's actually pretty simple, pretty light to lift up, especially compared to trying to close this tailgate and this tailgate at the same time when they're both open. So just keep that in mind. Now, as you probably saw by the intro video, that this truck is equipped with the Duramax. So this has a 3-liter Duramax twin-turbo straight-six engine. Produces 277 horsepower at 3,750 RPMs and 460 pound-feet of torque at 1,500 RPMs. It's paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission, and it even includes a diesel engine exhaust brake. So this is one heck of a cool power plant for this truck. And, you know, I've had an opportunity to drive this thing around and get into traffic, move around a little bit, and I'm pretty impressed with its overall feel as well as the power that it gives you. And we'll do a whole video on driving impressions where we can also test the Super Cruise feature, which is that hands-free driving system. But yeah, this is what it looks like underneath the engine compartment. It is a 3-liter diesel straight six. Okay, so before we wrap up the exterior features view of this truck, let's go ahead and take a look at the towing numbers on this truck as well as the payload capacity, because I think a lot of people that are in the market for one of these would definitely be interested in knowing what type of capacities a luxury truck with this many features and amenities is going to have. Okay, so this truck has a 1,413 pound maximum cargo capacity, which is really interesting to me because, again, once we see the interior of this truck in the next video, you would think that, wow, it would be much lower because of how well equipped this truck is. That's actually much higher than I thought it would be, by about 200 pounds. So you can see the gross vehicle weight rating of this truck is 7,200 pounds. The gross combined weight rating of this truck, basically this truck and whatever you're towing behind it fully loaded, 15,000 pounds. The rear gross axle weight rating, basically the amount of weight that you can carry over the back of this axle, 3,800 pounds. Curb weight of the truck, which is the dry weight, basically nobody in the truck and no supplies in the truck, 5,787 pounds. And again, the maximum payload of this truck, 1,413 pounds. I love this next section right here. This is just absolutely amazing. Conventional trailer weight, 8,800 pound maximum towing. Maximum tongue weight transferring to the back, 880 pounds. That does not mean that you can go out and find an 8,800 pound conventional trailer and tow it, because most travel trailers are going to transfer far more than 10% of their tongue weight to the back of your truck when it's fully loaded. So a 6,000 pound trailer in reality will probably transfer close to that 880 pounds. So again, when I talk about towing capacity on a truck like this, I'm not just factoring in the actual tow capacity, I'm also factoring in the tongue weight, because that's going to be equally, if not more important, especially if you're trying to fight sway. Gooseneck trailering. This does not have a gooseneck hitch in it. I wouldn't put one on this truck, but the maximum gooseneck trailer, 6,700 pounds. And then the maximum tongue weight you can put on this truck is 1,005 pounds. So again, you have to look at all the numbers. You can't just look at one number. I get so many people who leave comments on my videos saying that I'm totally against certain types of trucks because I don't think they're capable. No, I think this truck is more than capable, but what I also have to factor into account is what the maximum tongue weight capacity is, as well as what the towing capacity is. 10% of 8,800 pounds is going to be 880 pounds. But very few trailers loaded up to 8,800 pounds are going to transfer exactly 880 pounds or less to the back of your truck. Your utility trailers might, your cargo trailers might if you rearrange and move cargo around, but most travel trailers and RVs are not going to be that low. It'll be much higher for something like that. And as an example, if you had an 8,800 pound RV, you're more likely transferring about 1,100 pounds to the actual vehicle. So just keep that in mind. But they do a good job here because you can see that trailer weight of 880 pounds is definitely lower than the 1,413 pound cargo capacity, which means they're leaving you roughly 600 pounds worth of capacity for people and stuff that's going to be inside of the truck, not including the tongue weight. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video, because this video could go on for an hour if I included the interior in one video. But yeah, next video on this truck is going to feature the interior of it, go over all the different pieces of technology, all the different features that they've given you, and man, you're going to be blown away if you haven't seen the interior of one of these new Denalis. So hang tight. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll be back to talk to you again very soon.